Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to our video program. Now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thank you for your time and welcome back one more time. Now, besides COVID-19, one of our hottest topic around is cryptocurrency. Is the price going up? Is the price coming down? My name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider. Every week, I'll be sharing videos about cryptocurrency. So if this is the subject or topic that you're interested in, please do subscribe to our channel, click the thumbs up or the notification below. So whenever we have a video, you will be the first to know. Now, over the last couple of videos, Dr. Clemen Chiang and myself in this program has shared with you a lot of data. If you have been paying attention and follow the data, today you will be laughing to the bank. And welcome again, Dr. Clemen Chiang. And Dr. Clemen Chiang is an authority in the area of financial market. And also he is an amazing teacher. So welcome, Dr. Clemen Chiang.
Thank you so much, Richard, for having me. So excited to share with all of you today.
Thank you so much again for your contribution and your kind support. I have a couple of questions for you. The first question coming up. There are many positive developments over the last couple of days, one of which is a filing by Art Invest. Now, Art Invest is founded by Cathie Wood. She's very popular among the Wall Street investor and very active on social media. Yeah, so she filed her ETF, Bitcoin ETF yesterday. Now, another news is that the banking giant Morgan Stanley, they bought shares in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, a subject that we handled in our last video. Now, Morgan Stanley, by buying the share, is indirectly buying Bitcoin. So this giant bank is buying Bitcoin. Does it mean that Bitcoin is now good to get in? So Dr. Clemen, what is your take on this development?
Wow, Richard, this is a very heavy loaded question. Before we jump on to that, let's take a look at what the chart is telling us. Once again, we are looking at Bitcoin chart, and we always start our time frame from the Bitcoin halving event that was 12th of May this last year, 2020. And as you can see, back then we were trading at an average price of about $8,000 per coin. And over time, in less than 1 year, it shot up to an all-time high of $64,854. Wow. And then right now, it kind of triangulate back right down to $35,000 per coin. So the question that, Richard, we want everybody to think about and start reflecting on is this: where is the price channel? And I'm going to draw out right now the price channel, which is sitting around the 40,000 to 30,000 range, which is right here. And again, we always mark out the two very important clusters right here. And they seem to be floating at the same time right now at this range, which is the 30 to 40,000 range. But, yesterday we had a really big breather. And I'm going to switch over right now to change it to a 15-minute candle. Click on it. Dong, and here we go. Yesterday was like a crazy movement from 30,000 shot up to 36,000. And this is what, Richard, over the past few weeks, we have been sharing with our viewers that if you have been attentive to our price range and you caught on to the magical price point, you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. You're making about $6,000 profit per coin. And that's within less than 3 days period, all right? So this has shot up to 36 and right now kind of taper off at a 35,000, which is the mid-range of $30,000 to $40,000. So question number one, there was a big announcement by Cathie Woods from Art Invest, and that is they're going to apply for the Bitcoin ETF. Right now, she's one of the dozens of applications at SEC. And I want to quickly bring out this very important document that's prepared by Art Invest, her flagship fund, and put together with Coin Metrics. So I'm going to kind of zoom in here, and I'm going to go straight to a very, very important page for all of us to understand what is the thinking behind her ETF. So Bitcoin as an investment is a part 2 of the document. There's also a part 1, but we're going to jump straight to page 22 right here. This, I think, captures the most important salient points across the entire document right here. It is called Simulating Allocations Based on Bitcoin's Total Addressable Market. And we know that as a TAM, SAM, SOM. TAM, Total Addressable Market. SAM, Serviceable Addressable Market. SOM, Share of Market. All right, we don't have to go that into detail, but I'm going to highlight to you the most important critical component, which is found right here. Mama, the mama of all mama. Here we go. This is the most important simulation she has done. Katie Woods is saying that basically over a 3-5-year simulations, each functions of Bitcoin's total addressable market opportunities outlined in section 2. If Bitcoin just captures 1% of total addressable market, that's a 1.1 trillion market cap. Now, we've been there, done that already in April. Bitcoin crossed $1 trillion cap, and it's still the fastest guy to reach $1 trillion cap, despite Facebook. Yesterday, they beat $1 trillion cap. Took them 17 years. Bitcoin took 12 years only.
Okay.
But if it hits 5% of total addressable market, that's 5.5 trillion. If it hits 10%, that's 11 trillion. Now we are talking about, my God, this is the tip of the iceberg, because at 11 trillion, that's 10 times of what we did back in the month of April when it hit an all-time high of $63,000 per coin.
That is also the market cap of gold, I think.
Then we just have one more zero, Richard. We'll hit $630,000 per coin. This is the heart of her analysis, and she's pitching this to all the institutional money managers, telling them one very important thinking. This thinking has influenced the entire market right now, and that is here. Based on our analysis, investors seeking to minimize volatility will allocate between 0.03% or between 1.28% to Bitcoin. If investors seeking to maximize Sharpe ratio, which is one of the key investment instruments, they'll allocate a higher, more aggressive 4.8 to 25.78% of the total asset under management to Bitcoin. So, Richard, this information is really, really huge and gigantic. And that's the reason why SEC cannot postpone any further. They have to make a sensible, meaningful decision to all these smart people who have applied for the Bitcoin ETF. They are right now waiting for that green light. And there's a second question, Richard, you brought up to our attention, which is a very, very critical, again, information for analysis. And that is where we bring in Morgan Stanley. So Morgan Stanley right now buys over 28,000 shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And we spoke about this in our previous video. Step 1, they buy into the shares of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, so that step 2, the money that they bought into can be deployed to buy into Bitcoin.
Yep.
Step 3, then there's a lockup period. Typically minimum 6 months lockup period. So if they just announce this piece of news, take it as 1st of July for easy calculation's sake, all right? That means to say they can only really sell off the shares from 1st of January 2022 onwards. That is an indication of confidence of Bitcoin pricing. They believe Bitcoin pricing has hit a floor, and that's why they're willing to be locked up for the next 6 months in anticipation of the price surge of Bitcoin itself. And these are really, really big players where Morgan Stanley is selling like crazy. Look over here. Morgan Stanley has been increasingly active in the cryptocurrency space. And they are not only just looking at Grayscale, they are looking at 4 funds. One is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, number 1. Number 2, institutional funds. Number 3, institutional fund trust. Number 4, Insight Fund. And number 5, Variable Insurance Fund. 5 funds on its own, selling to all their major institutional clients. So this, again, is really, really big. And the highlight is always high net worth clients, because they will move the market first. That's the reason why, Richard, we are so grateful to you. Take the lead, because you want the retail investors, those who are watching the video right now, to be ahead of these big boys. Or else, how can David beat the Goliath? Back to you, Richard.
Wow, that's amazing information that you have shared. Now, with all this money coming in, right, and with limited supply, my guess is that with money coming in and limited supply, the price is going to move north, right? And just yesterday or this morning, depending on where you are logging on, Bitcoin price hit $36,000 today. I mean, it's kind of highest over the last couple of days, last 7 days, but now it has gone down a little bit, but it was higher, hit the highest over the last 7 days. So my question to you, Dr. Clemen, is that, is Bitcoin still cheap to go in now?
Wow. Again, this is a very, very good question, Richard, because we always start off from here. And I want to really dive into share with all of our viewers the little intricacies of looking at the price chart. This is really the only hint that we have, and trying to understand about three very important concepts. Number one is robot trading. Number two, the concept of the whales dumping Bitcoin. Is it valid? And number three, the participation of every Bitcoin hodlers across the world. So how do we understand this? Step one, we dive into the 40. Again, we always go into this very important portion here because, as you rightfully pointed out, Richard, it has been floating around the 40 to 30,000 range right here as I mark out. Okay, this is always step one. But the part that got people really disorganized and disillusioned and losing focus is when they go and click on the 1 minute candle, what you see is like this. Holy moly. How is that down here? There's a rainfall falling down, followed by another rainfall falling down, and they kind of start to move sideways. So step one, we look at the 1 minute. Step two, we change it to the 15 minute. And the 15 minute will give us an indication of something that's happening right now. Here we go. Can all of you observe that this is like moving really beautifully up, slowly up?
Yeah.
This zone here is what I call the robots are trading. These are traded by robots, not humans. Humans don't trade this way. Humans will all in or all out. And it's a programmatic trading, whereby the big wheels can put in an order of buy for me between 0.1 to 0.3 Bitcoin per second.
Wow.
And when you have an order that's going on like this, the charts will really, really look so beautiful and sexy, as if, wow, there's so many people trading here. These are robots. So then another indication is this zone here. This really beautiful, crazy, what we call the green, suddenly green surge, or what we call the green spike. And it's in one candle, over 15 minutes, bam, 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 bam. These are big whales picking up. One shot, they go in, they don't care about, no patience for 0.1 to 0.3 Bitcoin per second. I just want to buy Bitcoin. And by the way, for that record, one of my large orders until today is visible in one exchange in the US. And it's like permanently there, all right? Because I want to test how liquid the exchange is, and boom, I say, wow, my order has been there since until right now. So these are really the big traders who got no patience like me, and one shot go and buy like big amount of Bitcoins, all right? And you shoot up. Now, once you understand this logic, then back to Richard's question is it time for you to buy? And this is the part where we keep sharing with all the viewers, hey, this is your golden window of opportunity. You miss it, hallelujah, gone forever. One more time. Cluster one, cluster two. You have two clusters. They are right now average price. Anywhere, if you're buying below 35,000, you're picking up a good price. Because of every series of video that we've been sharing with you, we got 21st of July coming up. We told you about Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey, and the sponsor of event, none other than Katie Woods from Up Invest.
Oh,
She needs to go on the stage to tell the world, I have filed my application for Bitcoin ETF. And not only that, I want you, every one of you out there, institutions, to allocate at least 1% into Bitcoin. Now, That is before they come in. Listen very carefully before they come in. Number two, this price range is just slightly above Michael Saylor's price, 26,000. And he has another 1 billion war chest ready to deploy the green candle shooting to the moon. That's already two events. And what's the big third event? The big third event is the whole focus of the B plan in 21st of July, mobilizing everybody in the community. This is your moment in time. And we know leading to event, the price will start to move, and we're waiting for it to break 40,000. Anytime right now to 21st of July, this is going to happen. And thereafter, we are waiting for major announcement on stage on that day itself. So Richard, you have point out the really big dark anomalies, and right now we show the blue ocean to our audience.
Okay, thank you for that deciphering of the information, right? I mean, there is news there, but Dr. Clemen, you have this experience to decipher what's behind the news. So that's very, very important. Yeah, everybody read the news. It's the same black and white news, but people decipher it differently. So thank you for your wisdom on that. Now, next is actually a sad news. Once known as one of the largest and biggest owner of Bitcoin on planet, billionaire, let me try to pronounce his name, Marshall Proxy. Okay, that's the name. Okay, he has drowned off the coast of Costa Rica. Now he is just only 41 years old. Has over 1 billion worth of Bitcoin, 1 to 2 billion, depending on at what point you kind of value his Bitcoin. Now, if he has not hand over the seed, right, or the password, because he just died suddenly to his family member, those 1 to 2 billion worth of Bitcoin will be lost forever. Now, over the years, many Bitcoin are lost by owner due to them forgetting the wallet or password, etc., or accident. They throw away their computer, or their wife throw away their wallet, kind of thing, and then it all lost. Now, is this number significant to the impact of the limited 21 million Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin in the future? What precautions should we take to secure our own wallet?
Wow, that's a very, very good question. And first of all, before we dive into how to secure a wallet, let's understand some controversies about Bitcoin, big fat whales. So I want to show you guys, this is the article that sparked off Richard's discussion on this gentleman called
Mir Chapo Pes.
So that's the name, Michelle.
Okay.
And I want to give Chair three personally that I know about stories of really huge Bitcoin hodlers and kind of the coins disappear. First one, I know of a very big Chinese whale in China, and overnight he disappeared. And in China, in the Chinese word, we describe the disappearing act is called Tao Bao. Tao Bao means you swap the body. They tell the whole world this guy is dead or missing, but he's still alive and enjoying life. I know of one such classic story already in China, and the guy is healthy, carrying a Cambodian passport, moved away thousands of Bitcoin out of China, and is just enjoying life. Second case study, which is another real study, is about a crypto exchange who declared to their customers that their private key got hacked, and their private key was stored actually in a safe deposit box within a bank's environment. And they say they lost the private key, and the owner today is driving around in a beautiful red Ferrari. Third example, I personally encountered this gentleman who claimed that he bought into a bank, and he was selling this bank to my friends. And after that, he announced to the court that he was also scammed by the real owner of the bank.
Oh.
But he's right now in town driving around again in a beautiful red Ferrari. So three stories like this, and I read a story like this one, Mikia, I kind of read it with a twisted mind. At a person of that level, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, it is not a simple but an extremely complex individual. So there will be safeguards that he will have already put in place. If there's a genuine death, there will be people who know about it, but they won't mention about it because that's the way they can move on with their second life. But more than likely, I think this person, given the benefit of doubt, let's say if he's still alive, then he probably start a new second life. Now, that being said, to address the real question right now, for any coins that were lost, whether you lost it in private key or intentionally burn it to send it to some strange address and you just lost forever. And it's very common, Richard, because very oftentimes many new traders do not know the process of depositing Bitcoin into a fresh wallet. And instead of sending to a Bitcoin wallet, they send it to an Ethereum wallet. That's gone forever. And it's considered burned. Now, that is good news for those of us who are still holding on to Bitcoin because the supply of 21 million just start to diminish, become smaller and smaller. All right, just remember that there's 10 decimal places behind it. Fixed supply 21 million. And such cases will play out more and more often into the future because for many varied reasons why people lost their coin, why people want to burn their coin. So finally, your question really, Richard, is how do we secure our coins? Now, I got a few suggestions for our viewers today, and that is number one, I often prefer to store it in an exchange as opposed to a private key in a thumb drive. Now, that's what we call a cold wallet. I think the chances of us losing a private key in a thumb drive is much higher than putting it in an exchange. Let me explain to you why. Your mate might be cleaning your room one day and thought that is something that's worth throwing to the rubbish. That's it. It's gone. Or your children will be playing with, or your pets will be biting it, whatever reason. Now, even you manage to keep the whole wallet intact, like the size of a thumb drive, you might also forgotten about the private key because you have to write it somewhere on a piece of paper, store it in some secure place, and you totally forgotten about it. So many instances. But unlike when we keep in an exchange, we can always click forget password. We always have a counterpart to verify our identity. But of course, that runs into risk. What if the exchange collapse, go bankrupt, go under investigation or whatever reasons? So there are always pros and cons to the two sides of the story. The big question is, if you don't even hold one Bitcoin, why are you asking about this? So many of our listeners, I kind of scratch my head because, Richard, since last year, almost every month I'm giving Bitcoins away. And the people, just like 0.001 Bitcoin, they are treating it like they own 100 Bitcoins, I say, look, you are not really holding that many Bitcoin. And so this question really kicked in if you own like one Bitcoin or more, and then you really want to put in place certain safeguards. But other than that, if you have just holding a Bitcoin worth the size of a Starbucks coffee, don't worry about it. Keep it in an exchange and trade it actively.
Okay. Well, I'm just conscious that there is actually don't have 21 million Bitcoin. Actually, a lot less because many Bitcoins are lost. At the end of it, maybe 18 million or 16 or 17 million. So it is really, really valuable because it's really, really limited. Now, whatever Bitcoin you have, make sure you keep it safe. Yeah. Okay. I am very, very positive and bullish about Bitcoin. I find that this is one of the best financial opportunity in this decade for yourself and even for a generation to come. And that's the reason why we are promoting Global Bitcoin Festival. It's a gathering of industrial experts and also enthusiastic community of Bitcoin holder to update, promote, educate, and adopt Bitcoin. It is a movement, right? So this will be happening in Europe and Asia. Now, Dr. Clemen, what have you got to say to those out there who are interested and would like to capitalize on this opportunity?
Wow, Richard, when I think about I want to participate in any types of events, I always check my calendar for the schedule. So as we are right now in this red box, and I kind of point my arrow right down to the first day of 2022, we really don't have much time left. We have effectively right now left about 7 months. And I want to type out this 7 months in front of all of us because I need you to know this 7 months is very critical. It's what we call in the army, do or die, don't ask why. If you don't get in this 7 months, I think this is the biggest generation gap you will miss in your lifetime. Because in the next 7 months, why I believe Success and Richard is putting this global Bitcoin festival together is because they spotted this window of opportunity. The next 7 months is the move earth, move heaven kind of event scale. As you know, 21st of July is really coming up, the B plan. Elon Musk will be interviewed by Jack Dorsey. And from August to December, there are at least a dozen Bitcoin ETF waiting for SEC approval. Not only that, by end of summer, which is end of September, Interactive Broker will be offering cryptocurrency trading on their platform. Not only that, I heard that Gemini is going to go public very soon this year to capture and capitalize on the opportunity given right now on the runway. And not only that, we have Coinbase right now looking to be the next big stock that's shooting up through the roof because of all these institutional buyers trading through their platform. So my friends, 7 months is what's going to happen for the Global Bitcoin Festival. If you still have not registered it yet, I think you can still talk over Starbucks about your 0.001 Bitcoin. Well, we are talking about minimum own, about 1 Bitcoin or more. And I want to encourage you to sign up right now today. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Clement. Now, so those of you who are listening in, click the link below to come and join us at the Global Bitcoin Festival. It's a festival where all the enthusiastic people or the community will gather for a movement, right? To educate and to promote the adoption of Bitcoin. Once again, thank you, Clement, and for all your wisdom of sharing, and thank all the viewers for logging on. I want to wish you wealth, health, and happiness in your life. See you again in the next video. Thank you.